Okay, part two, I will do the first three practice examples. Um, they're all going to be geometric series because they're all going by a percentage or a factor, and it is asking for the total after a sequence occurs. So here a ball is dropped from height of 32 feet. So that is your starting height, your A sub 1. It bounces and rebounds 80% of the height from which it's falling. So that means that after each um, bounce, your rate is going to be 0.8, changing the percent to a decimal. It's decreased, so I don't have to add 1 to it because it's decreasing. So I want 80% of the original height. And what is the total downward distance? So that would be your hint that we're using the series formula. Total downward distance in feet that the ball traveled up to the 12th bounce. Interesting. Again, I have my n is 12. N is not always 12, even though it seems like that right now. When I plug it into the series formula, I'll copy it again so that I could use it to plug into. I'm going to plug in for the sum of the first 12 terms, the starting height minus that same number times the 0.8, the rate at which it's decreasing in this case. Not the rate at which it's decreasing, that's a false. It's 80% of the original height. It's actually decreasing by a height of 20% to the 12th power over 1 minus the 0.8. If you put that into the calculator and round, you will get 149. I'm assuming I rounded. I'm copying work that I had already done. So put that in the calculator, be sure that you get that. All right, I would try number 2 before just copying my work, but then again, that's me. Okay, a 7-year lease. Yay, we have a different number of terms, because we're going to want to know how much money for each of those 7 years. A 7-year lease for office space states that the annual rent is $85,000 for the first year. There's your A sub 1. And will increase by 6%. So since it's increasing by 6%, my rate is going to be 1 plus 0.06, changing the percent to a decimal, giving us a rate of 1.06. And they want to know, what will the total rent expense be for a 7-year lease? So that means we want to know if we take the amount that the lease is for each of the 7 years, so that's our n equals 7, and then add those numbers up. So instead of having to generate that list, we could just use the summation formula. We can find what the rent is the first year they gave us. Take 6% added on, get the next year's lease rent total, and get all those numbers for 7 years, add them together. Or the power of this formula, I'm just going to copy from the previous one. The sum for the 7 terms is just plugging in these 3 numbers from the problem. A sub 1, A sub 1 again, that rate to the n power over 1 minus the rate. So just knowing those 3 numbers and this formula, plug it into the calculator, and the total rent for all 7 years. So it generates the list and adds it together all in one. All right, so hopefully you got that one. I would try to pause again and do number 3 on my own. Brian deposited 1 cent into an empty, non-interest-bearing bank account on the first day of the month. He then additionally deposited 3 cents on the second day, 9 cents on the third day. So here they're giving you the sequence. They're giving you the first 3 terms. And 27 cents on the fourth day. So the fourth. So starting with 1 cent, going to 3 cents, going to 9 cents, go into 27 cents. So if they just wanted to know the total for the first 4 days of the month, we would have the sum of those 4. But there is a common ratio here of timesing by 3. making it a geometric sequence. Therefore, to get the sum of the ends of the 20th day, how much money was put in. Again, they have total amount of money, reminding you to use the summation formula on the 20th day. So we got the 3 is the rate, or your common ratio, I should be saying. Your A sub 1 is the 1 cent, but I'll use that as 0.01. And then we have 20 days, that's your N. So the sum of the first 20 days is equal to, oh, let me write the formula in terms of N again because I can't see it. A sub 1 minus A sub 1 r to the n power over 1 minus r. So for the first 20 days here, we have 1 cent minus 1 cent times 3, 20 times over 1 minus the rate of 3. And when you put that in the calculator, that's pretty insane. You'll have $17,433,922. I bet nobody thought that was going to be the case. Okay.